What's up? What's up? What's going on in the world today? Good morning, guys. What's up? What's up? So I tried to go live yesterday at the dealership to be able to drop some value while I was working, while my truck was getting worked on. However, we had some issues with internet connection. So hopefully, you guys are having a rocking week here. What's up? What's up? I just had a 10:30 rescheduled to Friday, so I just thought I'd jump on here, add a little bit of value, um, similar to what I was going to talk about yesterday with the laggy internet. So I had to kill the live. But what I really want to get into is how we're going to set up to have a great 2021. A lot of this is that I'm going to be able to talk about is mindset. I do want to do a quick update real quick. Oh, I can't share my video right now. I'm not in that phase, but tomorrow on the leadership call, new updated numbers from corporate was rolled out. We just hit 1,100 agents. So whoop, whoop. Good job with that. 25, 26 different markets, 2 countries. So good job. I want you guys to add your people as they're joining EXP, or get your people to add people. We have so many people trying to get into this group that I'm really only letting the people in that I know that's in our network without a doubt, or they've been invited by somebody that I know that's in our network. So have your people invite people to the group, and then I'll approve them. We could end up a VA able to scrub the list or whatever to look them up. But if you got new people, or your people have new people, make that part of your onboarding process to be able to add them to the group. Once I see that they were invited by somebody else, I know that they're in our network, and I'll definitely be able to improve them. So start adding your people, and I'll approve them. Other than that, they're just sitting there. So you kind of got to know somebody to get into this group right now. And that's how it's working. I also want to challenge the leaders in this group that are running teams, or coaching, or top producers. Adding some of you back to this group. This does not have to be the Adam Bailey show. Obviously, I give you guys insight into my world, what I'm working on, different things like that. But if you got some value, drop it. Shout out to Kelly. He's been killing it with some KB core training. One of my other buddies up in Canada that I used to coach, as a video I posted this morning. He's crushing it. Hopefully you guys enjoy some of the KB core training. However, if you guys got some value, drop it. This is how we're going to be able to build community in this private group. Really learn together, critically think together, make connections. And then without a doubt, we'll all start creating together, right? And so I don't have to be the only ones live. I don't have to be the only ones doing stuff. So add value back to this group, build some community, and just do it. I really want to be able to touch on what it's going to take to crush 2021. All right. I got some notes here that I'm gonna kind of go through. And as you guys can see, the title said, "I am a warrior. This is my time." You need to really make this your moment in the fourth quarter to set the tone for the first quarter of 2021. All right. So behind every great warrior is a big reason why. Like, you have to be able to have your big reason why. And it just can't be about revenue share. It just can't be about homes being closed. It just can't be about the money, right? There has to be some juice behind your why to get you out of bed every day, to eat the frog in the morning, to do the hard stuff, right? Get the hard stuff done, eat your frog in the morning. And so to be able to move on passion and purpose, you have to really have a big reason why. The winter season, this is really my time when I revamp the systems and I become very active in my business, and I have for the last 4 or 5 years, from really the middle of the third quarter until the end of the first quarter, make a big push. This is the time where I'm conquering new fears in my business, destroying limiting beliefs that I may have, to be able to achieve and net the results that I'm looking for, right? I was speaking with another team leader yesterday or a couple of days ago on a coaching call, and he was scared of, making some outbound calls or whatever, inviting people to partner with him or whatever, right? And this is a top leaders. So we just all battle fears on different levels, whether it's prospecting expired, for sale by owners, withdrawal and cancellations, right? To be able to generate more listings. Hell, new agents are scared to even call internet leads and welcome them for registering on the website and helping customize the home hunter alert, right? There's team, new leaders moving into team leader roles that's scared to, make prospecting calls, but you continuously have to be warming up your bench, looking for A players, B players, to be able to join your team, join your network, and all of that stuff. And then once you get to a certain level, where you have to be able to become more of a thought leader and you're curating content and stuff like that, you could be facing, fears with that or time management. So we're all facing fears, right? It's just how we compartmentalize those fears and address them to be able to step through it to still net our result that we're looking for, right? And what is the ultimate result that you're looking to achieve? I know people join EXP, for different reasons. We all know that, right? But what are you really looking to achieve by working in our network, working within EXP? Some people came to close 200 houses to over 500, right? Some came here to build their model teams. Some people came here to build an exit strategy and gain some ownership and assets and equity in this company through EXPI, right? Some people are here for the lead generation, the tech tools, business solution tools. Other people are here because of the coaching, the personal one-on-one stuff, and who they're able to collaborate with in their upline, right? But what are you trying to achieve, right? Like, we all moved here for a reason. Like mine was to move over because I needed some of the tech to be able to scale up a modern team to impact more people, right? I wanted to be able to operate and change my functions inside of a model to create a certain lifestyle that I was looking to create, right? So what are you looking to achieve? What are you looking to create in your professional life over these next couple of years? Who are you willing to become in that process? Because it's not about, oh, I want to make a bunch of money, I want to sell a bunch of houses. It's who you have to become in the process, paying to have those growth spurts to be able to achieve that net result that you're looking for. All right. What do you need? What do you need to really believe in and focus on? Or what do you need to start, placing value in to be able to execute on that? I have tons of people that reach out that, hey, how should I reach out to this person on Facebook? Or how should I talk to this person about revenue share? I have somebody interested, but they haven't, watched a webinar or been to a presentation. We have a core process that we follow, that we role play on Thursdays and highlight for duplication with building an empire. And so if they're not even willing, to value that call, to learn, how to be able to position the modelexplain.com or get them to a strategic growth acceleration online event, or how to edify back up the upline after they've been exposed to information, for a discovery call or something like that. It's really just random. I can't place a lot of value in it because they're not investing their time and they're not leaning into me. So why should I lean back into them, right? And so what do you need to start believing in, and what do you need to start building value around and focusing on? Because what I coach people on is when you're looking to achieve something and you can't get it figured out yet, it's just simple. It's just you haven't learned what you needed to learn to be able to net that type of result, right? So I want you guys to start really thinking about 2021 and really your life ahead, because everything that we're working on right now is going to start to percolate and come to fruition in the first and second quarter in terms of building systems and things like that. If you've been on any closing call with me, I talk about where I wanted the modern team in 3 to 5 years. And you guys start crafting your own story, building your own story brand. And that's what people are going to be attracted to. And that's how you're going to be able to attract your tribe and very like-minded people. You have to think about what's going to be happening in your professional life and your personal life 3 to 5 years from now. What do you want with your family? What do you want with your health? What do you want with your key relationships, right? What do you want that to look like? For me, I wanted to be able to purchase a boat, have 500 agents on the modern team, closing a lot of houses, per agent in the network, and run the modern team from the lake house, you know that that's part of my story, right? And then I ended up, having rebuilt a team from scratch. Couldn't even work in my own hometown for a year, but ended up building, from scratch and having 90 agents in 90 days. Right. My goal was to have 100 agents in 1 year, 500 in 5 years. So I had to readjust my goals because I was able to collapse time to explode into 2018. Okay. But I had that vision. I had a goal. Wanted to purchase a boat. I wanted to be able to purchase a lake house. I'm actually going to Grand Lake looking at 2 houses this weekend. I would already purchased last time I was down there, but the house ended up selling. Right. I know exactly what I wanted my environment to look like. I know exactly where I wanted to be. I know exactly what key performance indicators I needed to focus on to be able to drive revenue 5 years from now. I just didn't know going into my 3rd year that I'd have 1,100 agents on the team and things would be going as well as they have, right? But I had that vision. I had that vision board. And I know we're big on the well chart and all of that stuff to be able to track, but also I would get up a vision board, right? Like I ended up paying cash for an $80,000 boat, and I named it tap rooting. That's a technique of how I've been expanding my real estate business through building an empire system. So actually spend some time and focus on what you want your life to be able to look like. All right. And do it as much detail as possible. And hopefully you guys had worked through the worksheet with what was that worksheet? Oh gosh. Let's see. The worksheet is the agent action plan over the couple-day process that we worked through. What agent action plan for your database, your cost of sale expenses, taxes, percentage of marketing. Hopefully you work through all of these things, right? Behavior-based lead generation strategies for your business, your core relationships to be able to help you execute on that, nurturing your database, expenses and cost to sell, how to break down all of that stuff. You simplified your business plan in terms of your return on your investment and your KPIs and your lag, your leading indicators, right? So if you need that spreadsheet, or not spreadsheet, that workbook, hit me up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Sheila working you guys through all of that. But take your business seriously, because the people that are actually planning strategically, with numbers, vision, where they want their life to be able to be at over 2021, but even in the next couple of years, these are the people that are actually getting out of bed with passion and purpose because they have a big why that's bigger than the revenue share, bigger than the money, bigger than closing the houses, focusing on their systems, their clients, and where they want their life to be. So it's okay to work on this stuff. And I used to think when I was younger it was cheesy or whatever, but really, if you are looking at your well chart hanging up every single day, and you're looking at your vision board, and you're looking at your numbers and your KPIs, and you're constantly thinking about it, what's going to happen? You're going to manifest it, right? Because the information is in the network. It's not the lack of resources. It's the lack of you being not resourceful enough, right? And so it's about being able to ask the right questions to get the right answers so you can put the right piece of the puzzle into your business. I want you to talk about your conditions, where you really want to be, quarterbacking your team. What do you really want to be doing, right? Let's see if we're live here. I just kind of hit the live button and let it rip since I had an appointment cancel. So, cool. All right. Looks like we're live here. Sorry, guys. All right, guys. We're good. Sorry, I just hit the live button. I didn't know if we're live. All right. So, being able to create like a vision board, is powerful. So, everything that was on my vision board for 5 years, it's really took me about 2.5 years to execute. Granted, I launched January 12th, in 2018. So, if I don't get the lake house, this weekend, or, I have to wait till the summer, then whatever, it took 3 years. However, it was damn sure on the vision board, and why I made the changes to be able to create this modern team with, over 1,100 agents and 104 agents joining the last 30 days, right? What makes your business grow? I know we run a lot of different models, inside of this little Intel chip that powers all of our business, which I like to call EXP, or our platform lays on our brand and lays on top of the platform. But what really grows your business, the fundamentals really doesn't change, right? Constantly adding more value than anyone else in our marketplace through unique value propositions, systems, service, customer experience, creating like a Disneyland-like experience for them. Well, we must be able to fall in love with our clients, not our services, though. Don't fall in love with your UPSs and your marketing. You have to fall in love with client care experiences. And if you put that front and center and you're able to build around them, you're going to be able to pick up repeat and referral business quicker. But you're also going to be able to create a brand that is known for delivering on the promises in your community. All right. And if your business is organized to meet your needs instead of your clients, you're ultimately going to have, a job instead of a business, right? What we were able to do, if you guys have seen any of our listing or buyer presentation, where we've put the client in the middle, not the agent, but the actual client, and then we've built client care services around them, whether it's a marketing team, whether it's an ISA department, whether it's buyer agents, listing agents, listings department, transactionals department, all of that fun stuff, right? So you really start to put your client front and center and be able to build real systems around them where you're able to work your way out of the business so you can work on your business, not so much in it. All right. And that's what we talked about even with the traditional team building and modern team building at EXPCOM. I think we had like 350 agents show up to that. So if you showed up, congratulations. But the whole point is, and then showing up is, make your first key hire, right? So some people did it. A lot of people built it around revenue based, right? And a few other people had made that first key hire to get that $12 to $15 an hour work off their plate so they could focus on income producing activities. What really drives the revenue: prospecting, selling and negotiating, or listing a home. If you're not doing any of those things, you really need to figure out how to even get that stuff off of your plate as well. And time flies when you're having fun. It's definitely been a growth spurt here at EXP to get these people to where we're at. So thank you to all the leaders. Thank you to all the people who care about the vision, training, coaching, recruiting, developing, selling a tons of houses. As much as we've grown, I was like the 5500 agent with EXP, right around in there. And what are we pushing? 40,000. So we've definitely been through some growth spurts, but it's been a fun 3 years to be able to collaborate, triangulate, and work with very like-minded people. And so I appreciate you guys. All right. But no matter how stressed you feel, okay, and how uncertain you are that you have no time to be able to create these systems or new unique value propositions, you'll find that you do have time for things that matter most. There's actually a worksheet that I'm going to work through with you guys with how many hours are in a day, and really when you guys break that down, how many hours you spend working, how many hours you spend sleeping, how many hours you spend at church, how many hours you spend at the gym, how many hours you spend. I think total it's like 168 hours a week. And then you back all of that stuff out that you're currently already doing. And then you'll realize that after sleep, everything that you're currently doing, you normally have about 12 to 18, 20 hours of leisure time where you could actually switch that to a radical focus and be intentional if the vision is there, right? And if you have like a project list that you're working through, right? And you'll find that you'll have times for things that matter the most. And so being able to prioritize your business versus dealing with it as it's coming at you in an urgent manner is really going to differentiate the builders from just the agents that are trading their time for money, putting out fires all the time. You have to be able to control our focus, and while doing that, we can really change the quality of our life. So we really get, it's kind of cliche, but we get what we focus on, or what we focus on grows. And so if you want to build your revenue share, you're going to damn sure have to prioritize that. It's not going to grow itself. And I know at the stage of this game of where I'm at, it tends to look easy, but it was hard as hell building the foundation of this modern team, to be able to get it to run itself, to be able to be closing, 700-800 homes a month, bringing on 100 agents and doing what we're doing. But I worked day and night for like 9 months to get that set up. And I'm working day and night right now, rebuilding some ISA services, focusing on lead generation, revamping some systems for traditional and modern growth for 2021, right? But if I don't prioritize any of that shit, it's not going to happen, right? If I just get up and go through the motion, check my email, check Facebook, hit refresh, respond to a few texts, put out a few fires, make a few, real estate calls in the afternoon, I'm not running a predictable business, right? And so, some of you guys, if you're wanting to go more from a buyer business to a listing business, you're going to have to prioritize that to figure out how to break in to becoming a listing agent, a luxury agent, right? Like you're going to have to study. You're going to have to test A/B split tests. You're going to have to develop into that person, right, to achieve whatever you're looking to achieve, all right? But if you focus on it and you prioritize it and you work back with the people in the network, it will damn sure happen without a doubt, right? Your success is in your career, in your health, it's in your relationships, and it's a reflection of what you're focusing on in these areas. And if you're not focusing at all, things will fall apart without a doubt. I mean, a lot of you guys know that I've built some good things around me, but I've also in the past talked about letting my health slip. I've also talked about going through a divorce a couple of years ago after 20 years with my high school sweetheart, because I let certain things slip and I quit prioritizing them and focusing on them. So in turn, they didn't grow, right? And so with your career and with these systems and all that, you're still going to have to come up with a system for your health, right? Some of you guys have been hopping on the hard 75. Some of you guys have done it. Some of you guys have started and stopped it, but at least you're prioritizing it. You're focusing on it, right? Same thing with your personal relationships, with your girlfriend, your wife, your family, whatever it may be. And so you're going to have to be able to prioritize that time management, focus on it if you guys want any of that stuff to grow as well. Focus. You can change focus, and you can change the way you think and the way that you feel about something. But what we do in that moment by changing our state of mind really determines the direction that we're going to move into, and it builds momentum. So for me, for example, what I'm changing my focus on, I helped a lot of you guys. I had to go wide with my frontliners, and then I had tons of levels unlocked where I didn't have partners or agents selling houses on it. So then I had to change my focus, and I had to master duplication. I didn't know anything about duplication. I started exactly where a majority of you guys are started or have been in your guys' cycle. So I had to bring in a duplication coach, right? And just because you guys are in a power network doesn't mean you shouldn't be learning other people, hiring other coaches, studying other people, right? I know there's a lot of talent and we really help each other, but not one solution is probably going to come from this network. You'll be able to find answers from it, but I've coached with everybody damn near in the industry. I stay a student. I'm up watching videos till midnight last night on YouTube. I shared a couple of them in the group. And so, once I started to unlock those levels, I had to figure out duplication. Then I got duplication going. Then I started helping a lot of you guys grow your business, growing your revenue share, doing a lot of coaching calls, helping you guys build your systems around your teams, driving sales, right? Because none of this works unless we're, closing and selling more houses. However, I'm bringing on more frontline partners. So I had to shift my attention and what I focus on to be able to have a larger impact in my business, to be able to drive profitability, because I have agents coming in on my 6th and 7th level that I don't have unlocked. And so I had to change some of my behaviors and, change my state of mind of how I've been getting up and focusing every single morning to snap in new frontliners. And then a lot of you guys know that been recently speaking with me as I'm hiring a couple of ISAs. I'm upping my lead gen. I'm going to, drive some traditional sales and do a few other things in that manner, things I wasn't working on last year to set to continuously grow into 2021, right? And so you're going to have to be switching focuses as your business grows. by developing a results focused day, driven off purpose. And your big reason why that I talked about a few minutes is going to have you achieving massive results, and then you can help them make those duplicatable for other people. You're going to have to plan your day. You're going to have to plan your week. You're going to have to plan your month, and you will create certainty, knowing what's going to happen in your business. And then if something cancels, for an example, you need to interchange it with something of value. So for an example, I should be on a partnership call right now. I have an independent group out of Florida that I ran some coaching calls with last week. I've known him for a couple of years, and we should have been meeting today. He had to reschedule for Friday. And so instead of leaving this hour in my calendar blank, or be like, oh, I got him rescheduled, I'll kind of just fuck off for an hour here or whatever. No, I'm like, let me go live and drop some value inside of Top Agent Experts, right? And make up for yesterday with a bad internet connection and all that stuff, right? And so if you're actually, I saw this in another group yesterday from a guy that I know. He was like, show me your calendar and I can predict your bank account, or your income, right? And that's so powerful. So get it on your calendar. If you're going to focus on agent attraction, get it on your calendar. One day a week, one afternoon a week, but that's where you're absolutely focused and you're intentional with agent attraction. If you're going to, prospect for a couple hours a day with buyers and sellers, which you should, when are you going to do it? I believe a lot in energy management, not so much time management. Time management's definitely important, but I put more value on energy management. And so are you going to do these key performance indicators, these KPIs? Are you going to execute on them in the morning time? Or are you going to execute on them in the nighttime? Monday nights, I used to prospect for buyers and sellers. That was when I did it. Tuesday mornings is when I prospected for buyers and sellers. Wednesday afternoon light, I'd prospect for buyers and sellers. Thursday was big call nights, from 4:30 to 8, prospecting for buyers and sellers, creating all my routes, following up, creating my weekend, right? And so I had a schedule. I run a schedule now. And so a lot of you guys struggle with some time management. Just start chunking and blocking your time and attach dollar producing activity to it, but then stick to it. But then if things are always going to change, your calendar is going to have hiccups in it. Like me, I should be talking about how to grow independent brokerage or how to partner with them, right? But instead I interchanged it with dropping some value to this group. So you guys should be doing the same thing. Okay. We have to keep asking ourselves quality questions to be able to create a quality life. I said to be able to get better answers, you have to be able to ask better questions. And I talk about this all of the time. I do a lot of one-on-one coaching, and it's to the people that is leaning into me. They're getting on my calendar and they're showing up with great questions. All right, they have a list of questions. We can hammer through them. We can give them actionable items, and then boom, they'll hit me back a month, a week later, maybe every other month, depending on the length of the project or whatever. And so ask questions, collaborate, and then execution is worshipped. You're going to have to be able to execute. I cannot delegate somebody to close business for me. I cannot delegate my push-ups, right? So there's just certain that you're going to have to be able to grow into to be able to develop into a leader. Knowing what financial freedom means to you is going to be very important. And here's what I mean by that. A lot of people are like, yeah, I know you're gunning for $100,000 a month with revenue share and your rentals and traditional team and blah, blah, blah. But when I talk through a financial number with people in terms of financial freedom, you really need to figure out what it costs to live. I'm talking, what does it cost to keep food in your fridge? What does it cost to keep the lights on? What's it cost to run your business? What's your mortgage payment? What's the cost? Anyways, got somebody call me about ISA services. Sorry. What's the cost to be able to run your business? And that is your financial number, because once you I can't. Once you know that number, that's I would take that number. Let's just we know that off of the revenue share, I can't. I got some of this. I'm streaming this on Facebook too, and it's a public forum, so I can't share some of my stuff because it's going to be out there in private, and I can't do it. But let's just say it takes $6,000 to run your household. I don't know. Off of my numbers with EXP, $6,000. So you'll need to make $72,000 a year to hit your financial freedom number. Let's do 800. So you're going to need 90 people, as you can see right here. All right, in your modern network, in EXP, in your revenue share network. Okay, and that's going to be able to help you create financial freedom from time, where you never really have this obligation to trade time for money. Trade time for money because you have it replaced. And then as the pendulum swings, you really can start to focus on other systems that are going to allow you to be able to build a modern real estate team that isn't built around yourself, or you're not the linchpin in that business. Yeah, we were number one in Kansas for over 10 years. We're ranked 9th to 12th in the nation in homes sold from 2012 to 2017, and we had systems. We had that thing built, right? We had expansion offices. We had 6 offices, right? And even though we worked our way out of the field, right, when we closed 2013, 950 houses or something like that, 2 of us worked our way out of the field to work on the systems, development of people, focusing on marketing, expansion, all of that stuff. But when I paid the $400,000 and bought myself out of my ownership piece and pivoted over to EXP, and we know what my other partner had been retired for a year, we know we're 11th in the nation at that time. And now that company is not even in the top 1,000. So I'm rebuilding from experience. And some guys would love to have the traditional model like what we had, but we learned so much from that, where that I feel like that is a young man and young woman's game to really run a top 10 real estate sales team. And if you guys go back and look at a lot of my pictures, I was overweight. I was unhealthy, and I didn't even know it. That's what's crazy about it. I didn't even have enough self-awareness about it. And I was having relationship issues that I had no idea about. I had blind spots. I had no idea that less than 9 months later, I'd be going through a divorce, right? So all the medals, all the awards, yeah, we had great numbers. Great sales volume and all that stuff, but the business was still built around a couple of people, right? And what do I have today to learn from that? I have a divorce. I have medals. Actually, I just moving some of my desk around. I got this big poster. We have awards, right? And experience. But the way that I'm rebuilding right now, this thing will continue to grow by 7.5% profitability every single month, whether I work in it or not. And you guys all know my numbers. And so that's phenomenal. And so like, what way should I be building out with my traditional team, a modern team? Exactly the way Tierney's building out, exactly the way Mike Gerbich's building out, the way that Blake's building out, the way that I'm building out, a hybrid of the two for scalability, right? Cool stuff, guys. I've just been on a rant here. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it with me. What's up? Had an appointment canceled, so just dropping some value. Areas to focus on, just kind of touching on mindset a little bit, business and life. Lead conversion is going to be a big part of this. I actually just talked to a broker through Matt Smith, the guy sponsored doing 500 units out of Missouri. He's got a team. We actually have another call with her and the vice president of international growth. She's closing over 100, like 100 and some houses, 150 or something like that, all off of lead conversion. So I am going to get into lead conversion and time management. It's what I preach. But if you guys are big with past clients, SOI business, hit me up. Still help you set up like a raving fans program, a past clients program, a client appreciation events that need to be, hosted by your co-marketing partners and stuff like that every 90 days, through 7 levels of communication with Michael Mayer's book, off of your past clients and some of the raving fans database that you should be building. You need to have like your top 100, top 150, people to really start to have those raving fans, but more importantly, have some predictable referral business coming back to you, running contests, for basketball tickets, football games, whatever, like real value back to them. And I worked through some of that stuff yesterday with Matt Smith, because she's like, I've wasted money with lead generation. We're not a prospecting team. This isn't, I've lost a lot of money. And so I'm like, well, how are you closing over 100 houses? Smaller town, rural area, so there's different ways to build relationships in a database and to spend money on marketing to be able to get a predictable business, right? However, for the most of us, we have to do it the hard way. We're going to have to be able to focus on lead generation, conversion strategies. I believe, real estate is a contact sport. And so you're going to have to be able to up your lead generation. There's so many of you guys that are not investing in your business. And you're going to have to be able to invest in your business. You're going to have to invest in marketing. If you're going to be able to grow a big business, there's no way that you're going to be able to grow a business without investing in advertisement, marketing, and conversion strategies. It's just that simple, guys. And so you're going to have to be able to build a database where you can start to create some relationships and build profiles and really position yourself through the cash conversion cycle to take cheap $10, $8 Facebook leads or Google leads to turn them into $200 or $300 leads that are coming from Zillow, because they're in that A category and they're closer to the bottom of the funnel already. But if you build a good brand and you focus on feeding top of the funnel and you have good response times, we're welcoming them to the website, thanking them for registering on the website, helping customize their home hunter alerts after they tell you they're just looking, not in the market to buy a home, pivot to value. Here's what we could do for you now. Talk about some of your unique value propositions. Ask good questions, understand what they're trying to achieve with frames, what's got them motivated, what they're trying to accomplish, right? What type of pain they're trying to avoid or solve, and do that through putting them through a core process that I talk about all the time, with the dreams, through the dream stage, information gathering stage, the actively looking, actively purchasing stage. And a majority of you guys can do that inside of KB Core, Boomtown, Commissions Inc., whatever it is that you guys are running. If you are struggling with prospecting, you need to be recording all of your calls. Okay, you need to record every single one of your calls, and then you need to be going back, just like sports players do, and professional athletes, and they're watching tape, they're watching video, because when you're like a deer caught in headlights and you become paralyzed on that call, you can go back and listen and be like, shit, they really said this, but they really were meaning this, and start to become better at active listening, and start to slow those calls down in real life time, because you've listened to so many of them to like where you're like, well, I should have, positioned the conversation this way, or I should have brought up this unique value proposition instead of jumping to this right off the bat, or I wasn't listening. I wasn't actively listening to understand. I was listening to respond, right? So being able to record yourself is going to be critical to get lead conversion around 5 to 6%. All right. Most people are converting internet leads at 1%. Every 100 leads they get, they might convert 1 to 2%, right? Like you really start to get in that savage mode. If you can get in between 3 to 4%, then you start to really get into that expert status around 4 to 6%. And all the spreadsheets to all this are uploaded in the file tab. You have to be like, do you know your call volume for the week, where it was this time last year compared to this year? Where is it at month over month? Like you have to be tracking call volumes, connects, valid conversations to appointments to no-shows. How many of these people sign a listing agreement? How many people sign buyer agency? All right. What's your list to pin ratio with listings. That's to get them into escrow. How many houses do you need to show to people that have hired you before you pick up an actual contract? How many are actually closing? How many of these are you collecting listing transaction fees on, buyer transaction fees? You have to understand your metrics, right, to be able to make decisions, because there could be core breakdowns anywhere in the core process, not just even with the inside sales side of things, but even in the outside side of things. That's why you have to track inside sales behavior and outside sales behavior. But the response times are going to be critical, and recording every single call. If you're struggling with converting internet leads, you can, obviously you can hop on live and direct with Mark. I'm bringing some more stuff back as I'm developing some new ISAs and stuff like that. But if you have recorded calls, you can listen to them with me or whoever, and we could be like, your intro is off, or your structure of calls off with LP Mama, or you're not really, you're moving through LP Mama like a checklist. Maybe you're not getting their attention, holding their interest. Maybe you're not invoking any desire for them to take action off of their natural language. So you might not be using the closing formula that we teach on to be able to plug in their keywords, or they just don't trust you and like you for whatever reason, right? So being able to replay these calls back, Mojo will be able to help you with that, and then start. For me, when I was making $300 a week as an ISA in the call center, I became an agent. I didn't fall on top of the mountain like where I'm at today. I mean, it sucked, man. Personal growth and working day and night. I didn't take I didn't take any days off for like 3 years. Worked on something in real estate or showed houses, making calls, something for 3 years straight. But I would literally prospect for 5, 6, 7 hours a day. And then I would create a library, and I would come back home after dinner and, spending some time with my wife or whatever at the time. And I would listen to all my recorded calls, and I hated listening to myself. Right. But I would start to shore up my game. I would start to figure out where my loopholes was. Right. Or close some of my loopholes, right? And so my game started becoming better, because then I could wake up that next morning and not just make the same mistakes that I was making, because I was able to listen to myself make those mistakes. And then I had coaches, and I was able to talk those through with my coaches and listen to some of those recordings. And then I was able to start teaching on this stuff, right? And so being able to listen to those calls, listen to live calls, and get corrected in real life time is huge. Even hiring an ISA or two, I'm going to be coaching them, making live calls in real life time with maybe like a whisper effect. So maybe you guys can hop into some of that stuff as well. But I promise you, if you start there and you work back up with myself or whatever, or even listening to yourself, you're going to be able to up your conversion in a dramatic manner by response times, recording your calls, and then double tapping. Being able to double call your leads as they're coming in, focusing on lead management, tags, getting good filters, good drip systems, and start to really segment your business and tag through tags and categories, and really build out your drip plans and your texting templates. And I have some cool stuff I'm going to be rolling out with call action and some things that I'm working on in the Wichita market that I'm testing, because I'm focusing on helping these guys make a big push until February as well. I'll be helping you guys map out or show you what we're able to implement, online and offline. But Kelly Wheeler is definitely showing you what he's got to be doing. But this is what it takes to be able to convert internet leads in this digital age that we're in. And if you guys aren't hopping into the KV core training, spending time on YouTube, asking questions, and you're not getting your hands dirty, you're never going to build a business. You're just going to be a good salesperson. You're just going to be a good agent. You're probably never even going to be great if you're not even focusing on those things to become a great converting agent, let alone build a good, healthy, traditional business or revenue share group, because you're going to have to be able to teach your guys that as well. And being able to measure all this stuff through tracking is huge to be able to make improvements as well. And being able to be accountable. Everyone, if all of us think like an owner and we elevate our standard right? Or a watermark of just our mental model that we're aiming for, and we're living up to those core values day in and day out. You know who's going to be attracted to that? Other people that want to be held accountable. I just had an agent that used to work with me at Select, and she used to complain about meetings. She used to complain about the one-on-one coaching and blah, blah, blah. She did well, and it was kind of like not a complaint. It was like little passive, subtle shots, right, in a fun, like, playing manner. But, I'm working on getting a deal done with her. And I was like, there's not much of some of these other pillars that she was used to before, because I have a lot of skilled, experienced veterans back with me. And she's like, yeah, but we don't need it. And she's a skilled, seasoned vet herself, right? And so people need accountability. We all need it, right? Like for me, it wasn't exciting getting up 10 years doing the same thing over and over again, trying to push a donkey up a hill. Are you calling your leads? Are you coming to meetings? Are you following these systems? Why aren't you doing this? Well, shut the leads off, right? Pushing this donkey up a hill, trying to take a zero from a hero. I am held more accountable with the lions now chasing my ass down the hill, nipping out my tail. Whether it's Tierney or some of these other, there's many other top producers in here, Ron or going out that area, and Lauren and Sonny and up there in Canada. It's going to take you guys a lot of hard work, and you guys are going to help hold me accountable to help you guys do up there what we did here, right? So we all need accountability, and you have to be able to demonstrate leadership with yourself and lead yourself before you can lead others. I think I just posted this on Instagram when I saw this the day. And I don't know how long I've been ran here. I only wanted to hop on here for an hour. I want to start getting on here and being a little more again, you guys, as well. Like just like this shit right here. All right. Your rev share will grow as your leadership and problem solving skills grow. Many of us want the perks of leadership without the price of leadership. And I think I had somebody ask me on Mike's call, like, now your business is growing and booming and you're doing, and had a schedule, like, what are you focused on? One of the top 3 things that I'm focused on is how to become a better leader and a better communicator, right? Like, I wasn't always comfortable getting in front of the room, small rooms. And then I wasn't comfortable getting in front of big speaking events. I wasn't comfortable going live on Facebook at one point in time, but I had to get better at articulating my message to my team, to be able to articulate why we're doing something, right? What's the big why? What is the vision, right? People will perish as the vision perish. People will grow with the vision. So you're going to have to be able to demonstrate leadership, get in front of people, be innovative with how you're articulating and leading others, with your marketing, your recruiting funnels, how you're working back with your partners, your agents that you're personally helping develop, right? And getting them through the career tracks. And then what career track are you on? I joke and kid all the time, like, I'm the low little man on the totem pole for where my goals are at and the people that I'm chasing and trying to duplicate, right? Anyways, let's see if we got questions. I haven't been answering all of them. Probably got about 10 more minutes here. I wanted to hop on here for about an hour. What's up? Preach it. Heck yeah. Thanks for what you do. Calendar, preach the fire at them. Cool, guys. All right. Let's see what else we have here. I'll let it riff for about 10 more minutes here. So you just got to be able to master your learning pyramid, right? Within your business. It could look different for you. You could be doing classroom training. You could be in the mentorship program trying to help make additional money. I mean, you could be just focused on revenue share. You could just be focused on your traditional team. I don't care what your learning pyramid looks like or the structure of your model and start our model. Just get clear on it and get your vision up and let's continuously grow it. Because I think Mike said this on the call inside of EXPCon on the cloud. It's like people are like, how are you guys attracting so many people in your network? And Mike said this on the panel. Success is attracted to success. If I have my business and I want it to look like what I wanted it to look like 3 years ago, I was damn sure at a mastermind in Mexico with Brent Gove, Ralph and Gene, because I wanted my business to look like theirs. And so I was just trying to copy their model. And so I had to be around them. I still listen to everything they put out, right? Model the models to be able to get what they had, right? Like I can remember when I was in Mexico, I was talking with Tierney, exactly as big as my business is, my mentors was showing me this on a PowerPoint. And I was like, wow, if I could be here in 5 years, that would be a perfect scenario and everything when it comes to plan. I didn't know it happened, 2.5 years later that I would hit a 5-year goal, right? Even today, I'm doing the same thing. I have a vision board. Even now, the lake house I have to execute on and all these different things in terms of what I'm trying to do with my son and my personal life and my business. I'm readjusting mine even going into to 2021. All right. Why people aren't really wealthy, and wealthy to me isn't about money, because I don't do what I do. I know I wear some cool flashy shirts and things like that, for my videos. And when you guys see me at events and things like that, to really differentiate for what I'm doing. And plus, if you're going to spend a little bit of money, it's different than just paying, the same amount of money for a boring suit jacket or a suit that everyone else has, right? So just being able to own a little bit of my style, but it's not about the money. For me, the wealth is really coming from me having time. My business would have still profited and made over $500,000 this year, whether I work in it or not. And you guys know where I'm trending and what I'm doing this year. And so that's where real wealth is, the positive association that I have with money is using it as a tool to create wealth. That for me, the wealth is in the time to still be able to manage my energy with my 5 or 6 year old. I turned 39 in January. I didn't have my first kid until mid 30s, right? So we're 33. And so being able to be healthy when when he's able to run around more, be a little more aggressive like a boy. He's just about to turn 6 in December, or being able to travel the world, right, and do some of the things that I want to be able to do. So being able to use that as a tool to buy back my time. Everything I'm focusing on right now is residual passive income. If it doesn't create a system that is going to be predictable in terms of revenue, or it's not residual based or path based, I'm not focused on it. The pendulum has already swung for me, where I'm able to focus on more of those systems to be able to create more financial income to protect that wealth, to be able to protect that time. All right. Okay. And the hours are 134 hours in a week. I can't remember what I said, but I'll be able to work through that. Plan your day in advance, man. I got clear on this through Miracle Morning, and I told you guys I'm making a big push until February or March. I know we're a week away from Thanksgiving, and you guys saw me play a lot in the summertime. It was because of the hard work I did this time last year. And I'm working day and night right now, and I'll make a big push till March, and then I'll take time off in the summer, and not time off, but go through the motion and enjoy what I'm working on now and building. And so that's happening through reading, studying, execution, journaling, writing, hell, even create notes for this Zoom. Exercising is huge. I feel my best right now. I haven't drank in and been eating clean and running good for, I don't know, 65 days or so. Probably maybe drink a little bit around the holidays, or going up to Colorado in the mountains for New Year's, and my birthday's on January 4th. Might have a little bit to drink there, but then I'll make a big, another good 60, 90 days to get a bump out of our mastermind. And so you got to be able to get to all of our masterminds and plan all this stuff out all the way down to a very micro level. The only way that you're going to be able to have it all is to become obsessed with all of it. You're going to have to learn time hacks. Today at 1, I have someone coming to clean my house, and my girlfriend's even like, I come over here, I do it, and she's trying to add value. And I'm like, I don't want to focus on anything. I don't want to focus on mowing any of my lawns. I don't want to focus on shop. I don't want to focus on grocery list. I don't want to focus on paying bills. I don't want to focus on anything. The only thing I want to focus on is becoming obsessed with income producing activities. And that's what I'm going to drive. And all the other bullshit, I'm going to get off of my plate. And, you know, I talked about prospecting and these income producing activities. You got to have jam sessions. Would call this kind of a jam session with life. With live. I'm getting to spend some time with you, or I'm gonna hop off here and make calls, right? You guys need to be able to have jam sessions with your business to be able to drive these income producing activities. There's nothing that could take me off of this live right now. I've got a phone call, I've been getting texts. And so when you're in your jam session, that's what you're prioritizing and that's what you're focused on, whether it's sellers, whether it's buyers, whether it's agent attraction, right? And you need to be able to have a radical focus with that and not let anything urgent come in between you and your income producing activities with your jam session, right? You need to be able to understand all your lead sources, where they're coming from, all of that stuff. Yeah, man, that's kind of been rapping for a minute here. We are in the human connection game as you guys grow your database, right? Let's see here. Kind of made that post, tracking talks. Man, I think we're good. I got some other stuff to hop on here and top off